Okay, that's the class itself, the whole class. One second, I'll give you the class. You see my screen, right? Okay, great. And then I see the thumbs up for the chat. That's very nice, more convenient than the questions and answers. Okay, that's the folder that is open, and I'm giving you the link to the folder. Well, actually, I should give you the webinar run, and that has all the links to other things that you need. Okay, so this is our run. Okay, you should open that, and you should be able to even change some of the things. So, okay, here we are, we're learning Hugging Face, and that is based on the class that I taught. Now, my wife always asks me why anybody needs this class, and also why there are no official classes at companies. Well, the first is that I would say, yes, Hugging Face allows you everything, and it allows it much easier than ever before. That is a revolution in machine learning. And secondly, why there are no classes? Well, precisely because of that. You can learn it. It's not very difficult, but not everything is completely simple. And the Hugging Face people moved the bar. There is a lot of things out of the box, and that's what we will be doing today, I think, things that go out of the box. But after that, you do come to the place where you want to improve your models. That is not obvious. That's where we will be. So, is everybody ready? Right? I would assume yes, otherwise you would say something. So let us start with our virtual machines. The virtual machines are found right here. You go to this run, and today is December 16th. We're doing this on December 16th, but then the plan is that we will not be doing the next 2 weeks. Many people are on vacations, so whatever was the reason, but we decided together with other people to skip the next 2 weeks. So keep in mind that there will be nothing for the end of the year, and we will restart right after the new year. Now, what you need is the virtual machines. That is the link right here. Let me open that link. Okay, here it is. I would really like to open it in another tab. Here it is. And I see wonderful. You guys, okay, you unintentionally edited and you don't remember what it is. For that, I can help with, by the way, because I have the original record. Let me do this. Okay. That was 77. So what you can do is edit it this way. Now, I will also show, and I will use exactly that URL. I will show you how you do it. You copy that and you put it into the tab, but keep in mind, don't do HTTPS because it's not HTTPS, it's HTTP. If you just put it in this, then it should work. Okay, and if it doesn't, then we will use a different one. Anything would work. You copy that. That should work. So I copy this, I put it in another tab, and I should see this. When I see this, and I click on access via plain HTTP and click on connect, and then you need the password. The password is in this file, the one that we were looking at. But that thing, of course, is okay. I was able to move it. So that thing is here. Okay, now that is this VM that I used. It's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I go here, I'm student 5, and the password is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the password. Oh, somebody very nicely already numbered them. That's very nice. I
Yeah, I
promise
did
that I
that.
will work. Yes, thank you. I promise that I will work on the Terraform script to do a better output, but I didn't do it. But in any case, that would be the password. And that's how you use this password. Just put it in and okay, it works. Now, what you need to do is you need to reinstall Hugging Face. And that's no more than 5 minutes altogether. So we'll have to do it every time. But what you get in return is quite a powerful machine. If we look at top, we'll see the number of CPUs there. Oh, it's just a percentage, but it's 8 or 16 CPUs. So when we do training, it helps. Okay. So, well, let's go. Let's go to the first lab. For that, we need to go back to the webinar run, right? And what we started with was that we're doing essentially Hugging Face. It was called Deep Learning and Advanced Applications just because the customer called it this way, but really it's all about Hugging Face. So we, between ourselves, we skip the deep learning, we skip the advanced applications, that being different versions of TensorFlow and PyTorch, because Hugging Face wraps it so nicely that you never have to go to that level. And what we did was here are the materials. If you click there, indeed, you'll get all the slides. Here are the labs. And if you click there, you'll get all the labs. So let us do this. And here is, by the way, the book. The first book of this kind. The book that talks about Hugging Face, essentially, even though it's called natural language processing using transformers, but transformer is exactly this new kind of machine learning model that is the basis of Hugging Face. Even though they didn't invent it, but Google invented this. So long story short, let's go to the labs and we'll go in order. Last time we did install. So install was very easy. You would install Anaconda using the GUI installer, and then everything works, guaranteed. After that, you run this command, and this command makes sure that when you say Python, it really is Python. And the Python 3, you don't have to mention that. It's always pip and not pip3. It's always Python, not Python 3. That is what this command accomplishes. And finally, you install Hugging Face. That's all. That's all you need to install the whole of Hugging Face. And then immediately you're able to run, because that is a way to run Python with giving it the exact code what to run. And the exact code does this much. It says start the pipeline. That's an object, the major object in Hugging Face. Pipeline that will be used for sentiment analysis, and right away run this pipeline to classify this phrase, I love you, and you will get a positive feeling about this. That was easy. So let us do this. We agreed, or rather I left you no choice, that those virtual machines that are nice Oh, by the way, I see more people coming. I allow all of them to talk.
Can you post a link to? Hello, can you? I've posted this in the chat a couple times.
Yeah.
Can you post a link to your past recorded sessions? These are great.
Oh yes, past recorded sessions. They were sent out.
I can verify that. My name is Charles Stockman. I can verify that because I took a quick look at it this morning.
Okay.
Well, I've only done one of them, so
I will put this, just give it in the chat here, and I will take it from the chat and I will put it into our class. Agree?
Thank you. Thank you.
So who says that he has the link to the recording?
I think I do.
Well, could you give it
Give me
to
1
us here in
second.
the chat?
I'm trying to find it again.
Okay, I will prepare. Here is our first session, and what we did is recording. And I will put the recording in there once you give it to me.
Okay. Yes, it's gonna take me a little while to find them. Sorry about this.
Okay, no rush, because we can wait anyway. It will take you some time to listen to it, so you won't listen to it now. All right. Besides, we are reviewing the previous session until we become so proficient in install that we can rent ourselves out at $400 an hour to install. But install is very fast. Now, I go back to the virtual machines, and this is where you assign yourself a machine. Let us all assign it at the IP here until I did it better, because I see that some of you put it right here. Okay, if that agrees, if this Lola is the same as that Lola, then it's fine, right? But it's better if we all use the same system. So very nicely, you put the numbers here, and I grabbed the number 5, so I should put it here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's marked so that nobody else accidentally gets it. But for those people who just joined, and I just gave you a way to speak, grab a machine for you. Maybe last time you were reticent and you didn't do anything in the machines. Now, I think you will be more interested. So you put your name here and you grab this IP, you put this IP right here. In my case, it's 3.133.81.113. And then I click on here. What opens is this. When I get this, I'm ready to go. And what I do now is lab number 1, which is right here. So I take that link, and yes, we did it last time, but it's quick. Well, it's a must because that's the same fresh new VM. So you will have to install. In any case, here on the text, I'm putting first lab for today, and then I give you the lab. Now we're all set, definitely, right? So I'm going and doing whatever I say to you. You should go into the browser, and the first time the browser takes a few seconds because it likes to know what is the profile, finds no profile, and then it offers you to finally browse. I see more people, that's wonderful. And those people, they all get a chance to talk. Now, this is the browser that opened here. Okay, I don't need all these, but I need to search for install Anaconda. Okay, and I think I don't have to say that it is Ubuntu because it should know that I'm an Ubuntu. Let's try that. Install on Linux. Debian. All of that might work or might not, but Anaconda installer for Linux, download. That will download Anaconda. And download will be very fast because these are powerful machines in the cloud itself. So that's easy. After that, you click on, for example, look at all your installs. Oh, and click here as well. Let's see if it works. Well, that's in the way. Okay. Show my downloads. Here it is. I'm not sure if that will work. No, it won't work. But instead, open the terminal. The terminal, there is one right here. So go to downloads. Okay. And change mode. Plus X. Anaconda. So now I should be able to do ./Anaconda and it will run. So you accept everything. Well, demos never work, that's my rule. In this case, this demo is somewhat slow. Or it says my connection is unstable. Let me check my connection. Oh, that is indeed the bad connection, but I will go there. Okay. Okay, now say yes. Enter to confirm. And you may have done that already, but it's not long that you will have to wait. Okay, are we all doing good in the sense that everybody got a virtual machine and assigned it to themselves? I will look at virtual machines here. That seems, they seem to be quite used and taken. So that is good. I'm doing my install. You are doing your install.
Hey, Mark, I'm facing issues with Anaconda install. What to type in the terminal actually?
Okay, you open your terminal and navigate to download.
Yeah.
How do you do this? Just in
I-
case,
Okay.
you click on applications here.
Mhm.
And then you go to utilities system. Right, and then take the last terminal here. That's the one that I like the most. And it will come up as a black terminal. Okay, that's what you do first. You open the terminal, applications, system, grab this terminal. Now that you have this terminal, you do ls just to see what you have there, and you have downloads. So you go cd downloads and do ls, and you see this install, it was downloaded into this folder. You also see that it is green because I did this command. I said change mode plus X and then Anaconda. I don't have to type everything. I put the first letter and I put the tab, and there you are. Now I can do it even though it's running right now and it already has those permissions. I give it another permission, which is the same. That's okay, right?
Yes.
So I'll get out from this terminal, go back to this terminal. It says run init. I say yes, yes, run init. And there it is. So first of all, I should have Python. No, well, at least I should have Python 3 now. That's it. I run the latest Python. To get out of Python, the best thing is Control D, David, like this, just because it works for every system. Now I go to the lab. That is the same lab here. And I run this command. How do I do it? I copy it here, like this, copy. Then I go to the virtual machine, but remember it's a virtual machine somewhere away. So I need to open the pasteboard. Here, clipboard. And paste my command right here. Then if I run any command that is on the clipboard, it will paste it right here. That's how it works. Now, one interesting thing that got us yesterday or last time is that you need, for that to work, you need to open another terminal. That works very fast.
You know what? That's very interesting. I didn't have to run that command setting Python to Python 3.
Yes, but Python 3 I don't want. I want Python.
Oh, just plain Python?
Yes, that's why. And most of the other stuff will assume that you can just type Python. So I go to system, open it again, and now in this new one, I can type Python.
Excuse me for 1 second. We're doing
Please.
Python 3, right?
No, we're doing Python.
You mean 2.7?
No, well, okay. We're doing Python 3, yes,
Yeah.
but we call it Python. We don't want to call it Python 3 because many scripts just say Python.
Okay. Yeah, because that was strange. All I had to do was just type in Python. It seemed to work on my virtual machine.
Well, somehow you're lucky. I don't.
Yeah, no,
understand
I was just curious.
Right. Now, for a second, I thought that maybe I should prepare those virtual machines already supplied with Python, but then it would be too much magic. That is the same reason why I don't use Google Colab, because there are Google Colab buttons. And after we're used to this, after we do it maybe a couple more times, then we can do it in Colab and less time spent on preparation. But this gets you more certainty that you know what you're talking about. You've installed it a few times. Once you're running it, you will have to have it installed. So I still hold by this opinion that let's do it now. Control Z, I said, right? So that's good. If you did it, if you went to this lab, and if you installed it, and if you also did this, now you can say pip install. That installs all the library, by the way, based on Torch. There are a couple libraries that you can be based on. One is the Google library, and that would be TensorFlow. And the next one is Torch. Last time we discussed all the social aspects of those two libraries. Right now, we'll assume that Torch is slightly better than TensorFlow, and it's more popular, by the way. So we'll just use this, and we will run it here. Now, again, I have to open the clipboard, put this command right here, and after that, I can already paste it right here. That is install. That will be 1 minute. That is faster than installing Python itself. So just watch. And it's amazing how much work other people have done for you to just type a command and get it installed. Now, did anybody use the machine before the class? Because I started them a couple hours earlier and we also sent out the link. Did
Yes.
anybody catch to that? Yes?
Yes, I did. What I did was I basically set up the whole environment and I installed the
Mhm.
data set from the second lab.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And if you were then bored and didn't have anything to do, you can just continue with the labs, because all the labs, they are right here. And you're right, we're going to continue. So if you're bored, you can do this. Meanwhile, everything installed, and I'm going to copy this command and run it here. Okay, take it away. It now knows where it is. Okay, and for those people who didn't watch it last time, what's going on is that since it's running it the first time, it's installing it for you, and then it says, yes, it worked, and the feeling of I love you is positive, 99.9%. Okay, great. Let's look at what else we need to do in this install lab. That's all. Confirm that it is easy. All right, so what I want to do is, before we go to the next lab, I want to open the slides and look at where we were and talk about all of that a little bit. So the slides are right here, right? If you go back to the one and only link that you need, that's webinar, run. It says that all the materials are right here. So you click here and open that folder, it opens for you. And HL is the Hugging Face. And the first thing that we did last time was Introduction to Transformers. So I think we still need these slides. Let's download those slides. Okay, I opened these slides. And I think we didn't even start these slides. We were playing with installs. I see 4 questions and answers. Let me see. Will the course be extended by 2 weeks? Yes, absolutely. It will go for 9 sessions as planned. The next question is, can you post a link to the previous awesome sessions? Thank you very much for awesome sessions. For that, somebody will have to dig it up, or I will dig it up. Either way, you will get the link posted here on our run. Okay, that's our run. Okay, that's our run, and I already prepared the place. Which said what we did here. There will be a recording. So come back. I'm not sure about the email, because we don't email everybody. We only email those who register. So maybe we'll just do a post class email, and maybe we'll find, but we definitely will inform everybody. Our recordings are here, Charles. Thank you very much.
No problem.
I'm taking this and I'm putting it right here, recording. There you are. Right.
Now, that goes to the directory recording, so you just gotta find it.
That's a directory. You'll have to find it.
Yeah, so.
Okay, but we still can improve it a bit
Yeah, so we
more.
go down.
Oh, sorry, I didn't. Well, it's okay. I'll check it later. Thank you very much for your help.
No
Share
problem.
the recording, another one. Okay, that's great. I answered those questions. I won't mess with that. Let's now go to the slide. Now, I think we didn't do them as yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. But here are the slides And the first thing that I tell you is that I'm based on their tutorial. I did some work, I verified that everything works, I chose how to run it for you. But there is a wonderful tutorial which you can find at huggingface.io. The fact that it is NLP, natural language processing, is not that important because they want other areas of AI as well. So there is a lab, in our case, there is one, which does it, image analytics. In other words, yes, it's mostly NLP, but this new way of doing things called transformers applies everywhere. And I think we did talk a little bit about this. We said that NLP tasks include those classifying the sentence, getting the sentiment. Is he talking good or bad? It's not very precise. The sentence analytics is still not perfect, but it's better than nothing. It doesn't get the innuendos, doesn't get the whatever is prohibited in this political environment. It doesn't get a lot of things. Classifying each word in a sentence, that's the standard task of NLP, but now it's much easier with the Hugging Face. Generating text content, of course, everybody knows it's been a week when GPT-3 has been making big news and everybody discusses this, and my family tells me, did you see this or that? So that's amazing. It's not them, it's not Hugging Face, but you know what it is. Extracting an answer from a text is awesome because you give it a very large manual and you say, well, where in this manual are the danger points for my pump? Let's say oil pump, that's an example that I have, and it finds it. That's very useful. And summarization, and besides summarization is now almost everywhere because Microsoft introduces it to Microsoft Word. Google has already introduced it to their G Drive. You can see summaries there. I'm working on one product for lawyers that has to do with case management for defense lawyers protecting the criminals. And that is done with Assembly AI. That's yet another company who's done just wonderful work. I think they claim that they beat everybody, Google, Microsoft, in precision. They also are a very convenient thing. No, I didn't get any bribe from them. So they included the summary right there. By now, it's a kind of a given. So that is what you will get. And you will get that out of the box. So I'm skipping the what we don't need. And now, who is already using this technology? Well, the answer is that talks about transformers everywhere. What they really mean is that Hugging Face is everywhere, and Hugging Face is in all those organizations. So Microsoft is using them, Google is using them, and Facebook is using them. And Grammarly, I don't know if you're using Grammarly, but I'm using it all the time, and I'm not surprised. They're very precise, very consistent, very nice. It's to me like a friend who watches over, and the same is coding assistant. I don't exactly remember. Who knows? How do you call this? Coding from GitHub.
Copilot?
Copilot, yes. That's amazing. I feel that it is like co-programming, pair programming. Okay.
Yeah, but you have to pay for that, right?
You have to pay for it, $10 a month.
Okay.
But think of the emotional feeling. The coders are usually under the rock somewhere, all alone. And now they're all alone, but with the Copilot, much better. And of course, it really does work in the sense that, let's say you want to open a database. Well, it's a standard standard types of things you have to do. You have to open it. You better catch all the exceptions. And that's very boring. You need to remember exactly how do you catch these exceptions. So it just generates it for me. It sees the first line and adds 10 more. I can just push tab and it works. Okay, so that is an overview of what's going on. But for us, technically, we're going to use the pipeline objects in Python. We will tell this object what exact task we're going to do so that it knows, and then it does everything. Well, let's go and try it. Let's go to lab number 3. Well, I think we also skip lab number 2, so let's put it in. Lab number 2 is just one command, pip install datasets. That's it. So let's do that. We're doing lab number 2. Okay, I'm putting this lab number 2 in the chat. Okay, and I'll also look at the chat, what we have said. Do we get assigned different machines? Yes, these are fresh machines. Lifesaver, Copilot is trained on other people too, possible copyrighted. First, licensed painting case. Okay, that's interesting. Let's wait. But I, as developer, right now, just use it. Okay, but it's interesting. I didn't think of that. I wonder what they say to that. Well, let's go back to the Hugging Face datasets. That's how we copy that. Okay, and put it in there. Again, we need clipboard, put it there. After that, I don't need to copy it again. I can just run it here. Okay. And it installs all the data sets. That's the interface to the data sets. When you actually need them, it will automatically import them using this interface. And the last step is verify. Look at how nice it is and verify that it is. It's this command. What I'm doing is checking that there is a certain data sets. Well, just run this command. Again, use the clipboard. Okay, and now I don't need to copy paste again. It's already there. So I paste. It warns me that you're pasting multiple lines. That's okay. And there you are. Installed. That is lab number 2. That's just to make sure that you use the data sets. Let me say one word about Hugging Face at this point. They prepared so much. They prepared all of these libraries, even the data sets. They have also prepared, I'm afraid that I will not mention it this session, 10,000 models. Some of these are public, some of them are private, maybe there is even more private that we don't see. And you use them out of the box. So 100,000 models out of the box. That's what they have prepared and essentially became the GitHub of the world for machine learning, because you can share your code there. That's all. That's all I wanted to say. And now we're going to lab number 3. Transformers. It shows what you can do out of the box. What we will do is classification, text generation. We'll do all of that. How do we do it? We are all logged into your server. And the note that I don't use Jupyter Labs, because then again, it works magically and you don't learn. That's the unfortunate thing. But instead, I'm just saying, take this code and put it into the Python. Now, you have 2 choices. I'll try to do it like this. Every time I have something, I can copy that and paste it through the clipboard. That's one way. Another way is to open yet another browser inside of the virtual machine. You can choose any of these 2 ways that you want. What's important is that now you say Python. Okay, that's all you do. You say Python, it says Python is ready, 3913. And now I put the code that I Just copied. I put it right here. And all I need to do is paste it right here. Let's try. Yes, multiple lines, I know that. So first of all, let's see what it did. It said, I have classified a statement and I'm quite sure in my classifications, but now we're going to look at more details.
Mark, I am facing some issue with when I try that statement actually, because it says some attribute error on my side.
Is it that statement, this one? Oh, some other
No,
one.
prior one actually, where
Prior
it is
one.
a confirmation.
But I
Verifying
will
the
talk.
installation, last lab.
Okay, verified
Yeah.
installation.
Yeah.
It was right here. That is why it's good that we're all together. We all learn from each other. That's why you don't go to the official tutorial of Hugging Face. Is it here?
Yes,
Can you show your screen?
sure.
Okay.
I would need permission basically. I don't-
Yes, I'll give you the permission. 1 second. Nakshatra, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm making you a, well, I guess. No, I want to make you a co-presenter. Let's try to see you in the participants. Okay. All right, you are a panelist right now. So you should be able to share your screen.
Now I can share my screen.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's sharing. You cannot start sharing while other participants is sharing.
Oh, I will stop sharing. Okay.
Let me share my screen.
Mhm.
So I am, is my screen visible?
Yeah, very well.
Okay, so this is what I'm typing.
That's from data sets. Okay. Are you typing or are you copy pasting?
Copy pasting.
All right. Now I'll look at my screen, not showing it. That's all right.
Should I unshare?
No, not yet. I'm closed accidentally that place where I was watching the labs, but no problem. Okay. So I did this one. So first of all, I'm running it again. To verify that it worked well. Yes, it did. Now, I'm looking at your screen. Sorry. Okay, I see your screen.
Mhm.
You're running Python. Maybe you didn't install it properly as yet. So you can run it again, just in case. Hit enter here.
Okay, just hit enter here.
Yes, but it probably
Okay.
wouldn't work. Yes.
Yeah, because
And
it
now
says-
let's go back. Let's go. Well, could you type Python?
Sure.
Just Python and then enter. Yes. Okay. Now Control D to get out of
Okay.
here. Okay. Now let's look at the previous command that would install the data. And that installs the library. Okay, that you can run it. Let's repeat this command.
Okay.
It will probably tell us I'm already installed. That's fine. Yes, everything installed. Finally, let's do the install of the data packages. That was lab number 2, and
Okay.
we could have missed it easily.
This one.
Yes.
Actually, there was some problem with this install when I was
Yes,
doing
right.
this
If there was
last
some problem
time.
with that install, that would explain it. Okay,
so
let's
I
try
will-
to do this install again. Now it installed and it says it's complete. Okay, let's try to verify the data sets again. And if that doesn't work, then I will tell you what we'll do. Yes, that's the data set. So let's run. Okay. Something is wrong. Maybe something didn't install properly. The easiest way is to use another virtual machine, because we can debug it as much as we want, but the best practice in the cloud is to just chunk it. So I
Okay.
recommend using the other one.
Okay,
But
let me
this debugging session was helpful to everybody, because that's the kind of things you get, and that's the kind of solutions you can use. Okay, I'm sharing my screen back.
Mhm.
So you see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you see my screen, that's good. You also can see what I'm doing here. And I wanted to explain what I did and what you did. Number 3, we took this much code and we ran it. What is it that we did? So first of all, we imported the pipeline. That is the major object that will be used for everything in here. And second, I used it actually. I imported it first, and then I said pipeline that will be working with sentiment analysis. That's not nilly-willy phrase. I have to be precise. I have to exactly say sentiment analysis, and it would create a pipe that is exactly for that. If I make a mistake there, it will make an error. It will throw an error and say that, no, you have to be precise. After that, I use this classifier, which is a pipeline, to classify this phrase. And it does classify it, and then immediately comes back with the result. So that really is all that you had to do to implement classification. Classification for sentiment analysis. All right. That was very easy, and you can always play some more, because what I invite the students to do is to invent your phrase. Whatever you use, whatever you want to say here, say that, observe what comes back, try all kinds of marginal cases. Of course, I've been waiting for Hugging Face, of course, my whole life is quite positive. Now, they didn't put 100% probably because you could understand it in a different way, but it is easy. Try to say something, I hate you. Try to say that. Try to say something in between. Well, maybe really I should do something. I say, yes, let's do it, but let's try to something. Any suggestions on what I should say? No? So what was my last line?
Hey,
I have
here's
suggestions.
an idea.
Yes,
Go back to the sentence.
okay. Well, first I need to do the lab, and I need to do the first two lines.
Yep, right here. Here's what would be interesting. What if we said, my whole life I've been waiting for a Hugging Face course? See what the, kind of like reverse it.
Okay, I'm copying this and I'm putting it here. Okay. And now I'm saying I'll modify it first.
Yeah, reverse it. Put the like my whole life, put that at the beginning and see what happens. I'm wondering if we'll get the same score or how much different the score will be.
Yeah, it's good to start with a small step. What if we just change the order of words?
Yeah, just put my whole life I've been waiting for a Hugging Face course.
Mhm.
Same sentiment, and I just want to see what happens.
So now I repeat this line. Take this out. Put my whole life here. Okay. In order not to confuse it, let's take the dot out. Wow,
Interesting.
that's interesting. Definitely it's not stable if you just change the order of words. So that's one of the good things that you can put on the forum. The forum is the subject of our last lecture, probably number 9. So we won't do it now. That will take us too far away. But now you can experiment. Let's do something, some of my phrases. Word changes the answer. That's quite negative, but I am not sure if that's important. What if I say it doesn't change the answer? which would be positive, but for that you need to understand what I mean. Or doesn't understand. Well, that's not great.
No.
Not at all. Okay, what can we do? We'll assume that sentiment analysis is very complicated and doesn't understand stuff. What if I say just kidding? And I don't abbreviate it. For now, I say just kidding.
Is it
Okay,
understanding the
what I
sentiment?
want to do now is I'll let you play with it. And to next session, you'll bring me your results.
I have a
Some
quick
interesting
question for you.
phrases, but definitely I would say it's not great. Now,
Yeah.
let's look at just one more example. I know we're almost at the end of our session. Okay.
I have one quick
And
question.
here is the pipeline for text classification. Now that will be more precise. What does it mean, text classification? I give you a bunch of text. This is a course about the Transformers library. And I want you to classify it out of these three. Where does it belong? Are we talking about education, politics, or business? Here it probably will be very precise and probably will get the education because here's the course about something. That's very clear. And in any way, it is usually see much better results in any system for that. In this case, it did say that it is 0.44 for education and a little bit for politics, about very little for business. Well, we'll try that, and I will leave you what I would expect you to do. Okay, by the way, it downloads the necessary libraries, tells us which model by default it chooses. And it comes back saying it is about education, 84. So what I'm leaving you with is this. The machines will run for an hour or two. And please try, at least in the beginning. Of course, you can do the whole lab. You can try all of it. And then if you don't want to wait at all, you can find the manual, the course. And there is always a link next to anything executable which says run me in Google Colab. That's if you want, but I think you're here just precisely because we chat about this, we talk about this, we exchange opinions. So before we leave, I'll look in your questions and answers on chat, and then we will be communicating by mail on the other things, and we're not having the next two sessions until 2 weeks later. So let's see. Generated text is very interesting. Yes, it won't understand because I invested my life savings in BTX. That requires a lot of background knowledge on what is savings, what is BTX. And that depends upon what it was trained on. So when you become real, when you want real results, you go investigate this model. The model is told to you when it runs, it says that's what you use because you didn't tell me what model to use. So I'm taking the default. For example, I'm using this for summarizations, and I noticed that if it is trained on news articles, then everything becomes a news item. For example, if I talk about ancient cultures, and they also have a Supreme Court, so the ancient cultures are not understood, but instead it is if somebody wrote a today's article to grab attention, and it's talking about that the ancient court is today. So yes, it very much depends upon what it is trained on. Okay. IETAPL very positive score. Well, one day we will investigate more of how it works. Right now, we're just looking at technical aspects, but then eventually we'll look at, is it really as good as they say it's good? It's very easy to use, and I think it is as good as the model. The model can come from anywhere. It doesn't have to come from Hugging Face. So you have to investigate the model and look at it, and that will be a real deep dive, but what can you do? Okay, let me look at question and answers, and feel free to send questions in the meantime. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. It was great. I really enjoyed it. So I have a lot of things to do to improve for the next session, and I will do it. I did what I promised by starting the machines early. At least I did something. Meanwhile, I'm saying goodbye to everybody. Giving you a chance to ask your last question here.
I have a comment, Mark.
Okay.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Sure.
You're
So
very welcome.
yeah, thanks for the class.
And we see each other as announced on the email.
Yeah, my question is about Yannen's question. I eat apple. We can write a loop, and we can put a
No,
bunch of different.
we will not have a meeting next week, but 2 weeks from now.
Can I ask a question? We can write a loop, and we can say I eat eggs, and we can put a bunch of different nouns as substitute for eggs, and we can look at the sentiment, and we can look at that and see if we have any surprises. And the bottom line is their text classification for sentiment analysis is very, very primitive. It's very easily broken. So like if you want to do any meaningful one, you train your own.
So we need to start investigating much deeper, you're right, and look at what's the model. We don't have to put all the blame on Hugging Face because the model is provided by somebody else.
Yeah, it's a data set. It's only as good as the data set it was trained on.
Mm-hmm.
So in that data set, if I say I eat poison, if it can't distinguish that isn't a bad thing, then that's on the data set.
Yes, and I hear that GPT-3 is extremely good. Maybe we'll compare. We'll think of what to do the next time. I would probably say, let's go through all the details of how exactly you write the code. And only later, we'll start analyzing, well, is the code good or no? All right, thank you very much. Goodbye, everybody.
Have a good holiday.
Thank you.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.
Bye.